All right, welcome to Photoshop is Fun. And today, in this episode, I want to talk about how to remove or extract a person or an object from your photograph. So, a lot of times you'll compose a photograph, you miss something in it that is distracting to the eye that you see in your post processing, and you want to remove that from the image so that you can really have the image composed the way that you intended it to be. So that's what we're going to do today. It's pretty simple technique, yet it's extremely powerful, and it'll save you a ton of time when you're doing it with your own photos. In this example, I'm going to use this picture of a dog. It's not a great example because I'm going to remove the dog from the image, and it's going to actually make the image more boring because there won't be a subject in it. But basically, I just want to show you the technique and then unleash you to do this with your own photographs where it's probably a lot more relevant. But with that said, let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go up to the quick selection tool, which is right here. And I've already got it selected, but you can see it there. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit using my pen tool here. And you can see the quick selection tool, the center of the circle has a plus sign, and that means that you're adding marquee. And you can see just by clicking and dragging on around the dog that it automatically is selecting the dog. Photoshop is looking for the outline of the object and then putting the marquee around that. But you can see it's not perfect. You can see in between the dog's legs there's still some grass. So Photoshop didn't notice that and only selected the entire dog and then as well as some of the grass in between these legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and you'll see that the center of my circle will turn to a minus sign. And what that means is basically remove whatever it is I'm about to select from the marquee. And so I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And it did a pretty good job there. Now you can see that the marquee goes right along the edges of the dog, but if you look up here, some of the dog hair is still outside of the marquee. And we want to go ahead and capture that. We don't want that to remain. So what I do to deal with that is we go up to select. So we did a pretty good job, right? The marquee looks pretty good. It's around most of the dog. But we're going to go up to select. We're going to go to modify, and we're going to say expand, and that is to expand the marquee. And we'll go ahead and expand it by 8. That's about right for what we're doing. There we go. And you can see it expanded out about 8 pixels. And that's pretty much what we want. So I'm going to zoom back out just so you can see the power of this. And from here on out, it's pretty simple. So I have my object selected. And now I'm going to go up to Edit, and I'm going to go down to Fill. And what we want is this drop down to be on content aware. And what that means is Adobe or Photoshop's algorithm will remove the object, and then it'll look around surrounding content, so it's aware of that content, and it'll use that image data to go ahead and build the additional pixels that will replace where the dog is, so that it knows how to fill in that empty space and what to fill it in with. So it's basically just going to look around the dog and duplicate that in such a way that it is continuous for the eye where the dog is. All the other settings like blending can just remain the same. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Check this out. It's thinking, it's looking around, and there it goes. So now, when I undo the marquee, you can see what a nice job it did. It did a pretty fantastic job. Now, if this was a photograph that I was doing for either a collection or a client, I'd probably go in and do some cleanup work with a clone stamp or something. You can see in this area, it looks like Photoshop didn't do a perfect job, though it's pretty difficult to tell, I think, for most people. But nonetheless, I'd probably go in and clean that up a little bit. But overall, you can see how powerful this particular tool is and how it can be applied to your own photography. So give it a try. Use it yourself. Like I said, it's not perfect, but play around with it and see how it works for you.